So I'm starting your next session with your new topic, that is your traffic signals. So before discussion of your traffic signal, I'm discussing about your traffic signs. So I think it is clear to all. So next point is your traffic signal. So this is also this is also your important aspects of your traffic engineering. Next, basically a traffic signal are given out by devices that are mostly placed at important locations such as your busy intersection to regulate the flow of traffic, which includes everything from heavy commercial vehicles and cars, bicycle, pedestrian, all these things. And however, these signals come with some rules associated with them. Basically, the traffic signal rules form the very backbone of science and playing a vital role for ensuring a smooth and risk-free road travels. So, a traffic signal is used as an instruction device that indicates the route user to act accordingly to the displayed sign. So, following the traffic signal ensure road safety, and to make things simple to understand, these signals have been using a universal code color. So we have red light traffic rules, we have yellow light traffic rules, we have flashing yellow light traffic rules, we have green light traffic rules. So basically, we have various aspects to deal about traffic signals. So how do traffic signal works? So basically, a traffic signal setups include controller, traffic lights, and detection. The controller works as the brain of the entire setup and has the information that is required to make sure the light works as per the required sequences. Traffic signals can run under a variety of different modes, which can be dependent on location and time of day. So here you see all power operated vehicles accept signs for regulation. Here for regulation, for just I'm using this color, for regulating, directing motorized or pedestrian are classified as our traffic signals. So the use of traffic signals for control of conflicting streams of vehicular and pedestrian traffic is extensive in most of the town and cities. So the first traffic signal is reported to have been used in London as early as in 1868. So here you have a GK question, that is the first traffic signal is reported where. So basically, first traffic signal is located in London, and at around 1868 our first traffic signal in worldwide is used in London. So here you see it is at the year of 1868, and in London the traffic signals are used. So in the traffic engineering circumstances, you see how London is far ahead of India, because before before I think in India we generally start using traffic signal after 1980, but but in England the Britishers or the British engineers will use traffic signal before 120 year before our use. So how they are far ahead from these things, you understand from this point. And was of the symphony arm type with red and green lamp for night use. So basically these are the basic points you have to keep in mind. We have various advantage of our traffic signal. So what are that advantage? What are the advantage? So first advantage is they can provide for any orderly movement of traffic. So basically this traffic signal will provide us or will give us mm, any orderly movement of traffic. Next is when Proper when proper geometric layout and control measures are employed, they can increase the traffic handling capacity of the intersection. So here you see when proper geometric layouts and control measures are employed, they can increase the traffic handling capacity of the intersection. So here it is already clear that here they increase the traffic handling capacity. That means here traffic volume is increased. So here traffic volume is increased. Traffic volume. So here traffic volume. So here traffic volume. Traffic volume is increased. So here traffic volume is increased. Next, they can reduce the frequency of certain type of accident, especially the right angle type and pedestrian accident. So if we use traffic signals in control manner, then the frequency of accident it reduces because everyone will familiar with traffic signals and everyone will follow that traffic signal rules and regulations. So if everyone will follow these traffic rules and regulation, then automatically the accident will be reduces. It may be a pedestrian accident, it may be any accident. So basically, they can be used to interrupt heavy traffic at intervals to permit other traffic vehicular or pedestrian to cross. Next, if properly designed and set, they can assign right of way impartially to traffic, unlike manual controls, which can stop and interrupt traffic streams at the personal whim of the traffic controller. Next, what are the disadvantages of our traffic signal? So there are basic or few disadvantage of our traffic signal. So that disadvantages are first, excessive delay to vehicle may be caused particularly during off-peak hours. So this is also happen that this if this is the cross section of your road, or here this is the intersection point. Then if the traffic volume of a particular road is high, the traffic volume of a particular road is high, then there is a high chances of your congestion for any other road. So basically what happened, excessive delay to vehicles may cause particular during off peak hours. Next is your unwarranted signal installation tend to encourage the disobedience of the signal indication. Next, driver may be intended induced to use less adequate and less safe route to avoid delay at signals. So it is also a disadvantage that at many places it will be found that if the driver find more time for a stretch, or if he travel along a stretch and in that stretch or in that particular section of the road more numbers of signal are available, and also at every signals policeman will stop his vehicle or her vehicle, then they do not want to stop their vehicle at every signals. So for uh, for less less use of that signal, or for avoiding the delayed signals, drivers are generally follow the less adequate and less safe routes. Next is accident frequency, especially of the rear end type, may increase. So basically every vehicle will move with their own speed. So it may be possible that at signals, or if the vehicle will find signals, then they try to stop the vehicles. So it may be possible that at many places accident frequently occur at rear end type. That means the rear end of a vehicle will collide with the rear end of other vehicle. Next is traffic signals. So next is your traffic signals. Next is your traffic signals. So our first point of discussion is how do traffic signals work. So Our traffic signal setup include controller, traffic lighter, and detection, and the controller works as the brain of the entire setup and has the information that is required to make sure the lights work as per the required sequences. Next, these traffic signals can run under a variety of different modes, which can be dependent on location and time of delay. Next is here we see traffic signals. One is our red signal, one is our yellow signal, one is our green signal. So you all see this type of signal during crossing of any road. So this is your red signal. So it is not clear. It is already clear that this is your red signal. This is your yellow signal. So basically this is your yellow signal. This is your green signal. So this is your green signal. Next is what are the type of traffic signals? So basically, there are six type of signal, which traffic control signal, fixed time signal, manually operated signal, traffic actuated or automatic signal, pedestrian signal, a special type signal. So basically, on basis of color, here we bifurcate our traffic signal into three. That is red, red color signal. This is yellow color signal. This is green color signal. But there are six type of signal: which traffic control signal, fixed time signals, manual operated signal, traffic automatic signal, pedestrian signal, special traffic signals. So these are different type of signals you have to keep in mind. Next is our basic terminology which we adopted during our traffic signals. So here we have different terminologies. You all just focus here. So first is cycle. First point is cycle. Next is phase. So cycle, it is indicating complete sequence of signal. So basically, uh, at a signal, we have complete sequences. So our cycle, so if complete sequences occur, then it will reach up to one cycle. So it indicating a complete sequences of signal. Next is our phase. So the part of cycle allotted to any combination of traffic movements receiving ray of way simultaneously during one or more interval. So this is your minor street. Here you see this is your minor street. This is called minor street because here the width of this road is less than the width of this road. Here you see here the width is more with respect to this width. So this is our here this is our this is our sorry this is our here it is written as this is our minor street. So here if you see the width is less, here we have more width. So this is our major street. Our major street we have vehicle movement. Here we have our vehicle movement and also we have our pedestrian movement. So these P1, sorry P2, P4, P6, P8, these all are our pedestrian movement. So here it is already written that these are our pedestrian movement. So P2, P2, our P8, our P8, this P4, this P4, this P6, all are our pedestrian movements. And these all solid lines, that is your this 3, 8, our 2, 5, this is our 4, 7, this is our 1, 6. These all are our vehicle movements. So these all are our vehicle movements. So basically here uh, we have two things. One is your cycle and another is your phase. So cycle, it is indicating complete sequences of signal. Next is phase. So the part of cycle allotted to any combination of traffic movements receiving right of way simultaneously during one or more interval. Next, we have different time, that is your green time, amber time, your yellow time, red time. So you have to keep these also time in your mind. So first is your green time. So you all see here, this is your green time. So first is your green time. So green time is indicated by G. Next is your yellow time. So yellow time is indicated by Y. Next is your red time. This red time is indicated by R. Next is your all red interval. So here we indicate it as AR. Next is your green, intergreen. So you all kept this point in your mind. First point is green time. So the amount of time um, for which a movement receive a green indication. So basically, green time is the amount of time for which a vehicle receive a green indication, and at that particular time they move through a particular intersection. So the amount of time for which a movement receives a green indication. Next is your yellow time. So the amount of time for which a movement receives a yellow indication. Here we have a change interval of option. Next is your red time. So the amount of time for which a movement receives a red indication is your red time, and generally our red time is indicated as R. Next is our all red interval. It is indicated as AR. So here all red interval, the display time of the red indication for all approaches, for wide intersection, and for pedestrian crossing. So these all are given. Next is your intergreen. So the time between the end of a green indication or one phase and beginning of a green indication for another's. So you have to keep these all things in your mind. Next is your offset. So this offset also you read in your surveying. So this is not that offset. So time lapse in second between the beginning of a green phase at intersection and beginning of a green phase at the next intersection. So this is known as offset or offset point. Next is your phase design. So we have also phase design. So how we design our phases. So here is our phase design. Phase design. So the signal design procedure involves six major steps. So basically we have to design our signal, and this signal design have basic six major steps. So first is they includes phase design. So first is your phase design. Next is determination of chamber time and clearance time. Next is determination of cycle length. Next is appro, appro appreciation of green time. Next is pedestrian crossing requirement time, and next is performance evaluation of the design obtained in the previous steps. So what we see here, the signal design procedure will have six major steps. First step is you have to design your phase, or you construct a phase design. Next is determination of chamber time and clearance time. Next is determination of cycle length. Next is appropriation of green time. Next is pedestrian crossing requirements. Next is performance evaluation of the design obtained in the previous steps. So these are all the points you have to be kept in your mind. So discuss the phase design concepts. Next is your next is your uh, objective. So the objective of so here we have different things. So first is our phase design. So I discuss the phase design. Next is the objective. So here we have seen that this phase design is the first major steps of our traffic signals. So the objective of phase design is to separate the conflicting movements in an intersection into various phases so that the movement in a phase should have no conflicts. So if all the movements are to be separated with no conflict, then a large number of phases are required. In such a situation, the objective is to design phase with minimal conflict or with uh, less with conflicts. So there is no precise method for the designing of which. So we we have also discussed this thing in detail during due course. So here you see the objective of phase design to separate the objective of this is first point. So the objective of phase design is to separate the conflicting moment in an intersection into various phases so that the moments in a phase should have no conflict. If all the moments are to be separated with no conflict, then a large number of phases are required. In such a situation, the objective is to be design phase with minimum conflict or with less severe conflicts. So there is no precise methodology for the design of phase. This is often guided by the geometry of the intersection, the flow pattern, especially the turning moments and the relative magnitude of flow. Therefore, a trial and error procedure is often adopted. However, phase design is very important because it affects the further design steps. Next, next is our next is our two-phase design. Next is two-phase signals. So two-phase signal is usually adopted if through traffic is significant compared to the turning moments. For example, in I'm showing you all the figures. So this is your figure 2. No conflicting through traffic. If you see this figure, here you see this is there is no conflicting through traffic 3 and 4. So this is your figure 2. So just wait. So here you see, this is your two-phase signals. The two-phase signal is usually adapted if through traffic is significant compared to the turning moments. For example, in figure 2, so two-phase systems is usually adapted if through traffic is significant compared to the turning movement. For example, in figure 2, non-conflicting through traffic 3 and 4 are grouped in a single phase and non-conflicting traffic through traffic 1 and 2 are grouped in the second phase. So in figure 2, here this is your figure 2. If you see this figure, if you see this figure and this figure 2, non-conflicting through traffic 3 and 4 are grouped. So here you see this is your 3 and this is your 4. So here we have non-conflicting traffic through 3 and 4 and are grouped in a single phase, and non-conflicting through traffic 1 and 2 are grouped in a single phase. So here this is your 1 and 2. So these are all are grouped in a single phase. Next, however, in the first phase, flow 7 and 8. So you see if you see this flow 7 and 8, flow 7, this is your flows 8 and this is your flow 7, this dotted line. So you have two, one is your solid line and one is your dotted line. So you see the dotted 7 and 8 dotted line. dotted line, dotted line 7 and 8. So dotted line 7 and 8. So two-phase system is usually adopted if through traffic is significant compared to the turning moments. For example, in figure 2, non-conflicting through traffic 3 and 4 are grouped in a single phase, and non-conflicting through 1 and 2 are grouped in a second phase. Next is, however, in the first phase, flow 7 and 8 offer some conflict and are called permitted right turns. Needless to say that such phasing is possible only if the turning moments are relatively low. On the other hand, if the turning moments are significant, then a four-phase system is usually adopted. So next is our four-phase system. So this is your four-phase system. You see this. So this is your four-phase signals or four-phase systems. So here you see there are at least three possible fetching options. For example, figure 3. This is your figure 3. So for example, figure 3 shows the most simple and trivial phase plan where flow from each approach is put into a into a single phase, avoiding all conflicts. So this type of phase plan is ideally suited in urban areas where the turning moments are comparable with through movements, and when through traffic and turning through traffic and turning traffic needs to share same line. So this phase plan could be very inefficient when turning moments are relatively low. So moment in four phase signal system, this is your option 1. So you all focus on this. Next is your this is your figure 4. So figure 4 show just second possible phase plan options where opposing through traffic are put into same phase. So the non-conflicting right turn flows 7 and 8 are grouped into a third phase. Similarly, flows 5 and 6 are grouped into fourth phase. So this type of phasing is very efficient when the intersection geometrically permits to have at least one line for each movement and the through traffic volume is significantly high. Next is your figure 5. So figure 5 shows yet another phase plan. However, this is rarely used in practice. So there are 5 phase signals, 6 phase signals, etc. So they are normally provided if the intersection control is adaptive, that is the signal phase and timing adapt to the real time traffic condition. Next is your cycle time. So we generally discuss cycle times your during terminology portions. So here you see this is your cycle time. So cycle time is the time taken by a signal to complete one full cycle of iteration. That means one cycle rotation through all signal indication. It is denoted by C. So you remember this thing that your cycle time is indicated as C. So cycle time is indicated as your C. So you must remember this thing because uh, next we develop a formula for this cycle time. So there we use this symbol C. Next figure 6. So I show you figure 6. So figure 6 illustrates a group of n vehicle at a signalized intersection waiting for the green signals. So as the signal is initiated, the time interval between two vehicles refer a headway crossing the curve line is noted. So the first headway is the time interval between the initiation of the green signal and the instant vehicle crossing the curve line. So the second headway is the time interval between the first and second vehicle crossing the curve line. Successive headways are then plotted as in figure 7. So you all see these things. So here we have different figure. This is your figure 6, this is your figure 7. So here you see a group of vehicle at a signalized intersection waiting for green signal. So here this is your intersection. So this is your control intersection. This is your controlled intersection. So here I'm writing this is your controlled intersection. This is your controlled intersection. TROLLED control intersection. This is your control intersection. So here if you see, this is your intersection and group of a vehicle at your signalized intersection waiting for your green signal. So here many vehicle, this one number, this vehicle, this vehicle, this vehicle, all the vehicles are waiting for your green signal. If green signal coming, then many vehicle will maneuver this curve, many vehicle will go straight, and many vehicle will maneuver this path. So here we uh, we say that all the vehicles will go in different direction when green signal comes. Next is your headway departing signals. So here we have headway, that means this is the most favorable uh, headway, that means here headway is maximum, here headway is decreases. So here you see gradually the headway is decreases, or the distance, this headway distance is gradually decreases. Here it is maximum, it is h1, here it is e1, here it is e2, here it is e3, here it is e4, here it is e5, and so on, and here it is h. So headway departing signals. So this is another representation of headway with the vehicles in queue. Next is your next is your So here we can say the first headway will be relatively longer since it induces the reaction time of the driver and the time necessary to accelerate. So the second headway will be comparatively lower because the second driver can overlap his or her reaction time with that of the first drivers. So after few vehicles, the headway will become constant. This constant headway will categorize all headway beginning with the fourth or fifth vehicles is defined as the saturation headway and is denoted as H. So I discussed these things also. So this is denoted as H, and this is the and this is the headway that can be achieved by a stable moving platoon of vehicle passing through a green indication. So if every vehicle requires h second of green time, and if the signals were always green, then s vehicle per hour would pass the intersection. So this is the another point. Next is, therefore we can say that this S is equal to 3600 by H. So this is S is our saturation flow rate. So this saturation flow rate, and this H is related as this S is equal to 3600, and this is also this S is saturation flow rate. And during your discussion I am discussing your traffic density, your space headway, as that your k is equal to your k is equal to 3600 3600 divided by Hs. So during the discussion of your space headway with traffic density, I derive this relationship also. So, so here the same nomenclature is just make opposite, and we define our saturation flow rate in vehicle per hour of green time per lane, and H is the saturation headway. Here this is also Hs is our headway, and this small h, this small h is also our saturation headway. So this is our saturation headway. This h is our saturation headway. So we just here huge, this is not our capital H, this is our small h, and this small h is the saturation headway in seconds. So as noted earlier, the headway will be more than h, particularly for the first few vehicles. So the difference between the actual headway and h for ith vehicle and is denoted by ei shown in figure 7. I already showed these things. So these differences for the first few vehicles can be added to get a startup lost time I1, which is given this is your not I1, this is your L1. So this L1 is a summation of I is equal to 1 to the n and ei. So here we can say that this L1, that means this our lost time L1 is equal to E1, this L1 is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3. So you have to keep this point or this thing also in your mind. So next, so here we see the green time required to clear n vehicle can be found out as. So if you see this diagram, then we have two diagram. One is our green, one is our one is our group of vehicle at a signalized intersection waiting for green signal, and one is headway departing signals. So here we calculate our signal time. So here we calculate our signal times. So the signal time which is shown as our green time. So the green time required to clear n vehicle can be found out as T is equal to, this is T is our time required to clear n vehicle through signals, and this L1, this T is basically our, this T is our time required to clear n vehicle through signals. Next is this is our L1. So L1 is the startup lost time. So basically this is L1, and this n is our number of vehicles. So this n is our number of vehicle. So this n is our number of vehicle, and the small h is the saturation headway in seconds. So this is all about your traffic signal. In next class, I am discussing the rest portion. So today I am conclude my lecture here. So thank you everyone.